You may be asking, well, how can I conceivably do 10, 12, even 15 appointments in a day? So the nice thing about, especially with a final expense product, is that you can do a to-the-point brass tacks presentation. As you do this over time, you will go from, if you're in the field with a client for an hour and a half, you will be able to do appointments in 30 to 40 minutes with single people, closer to an hour with couples. Once you know and are competent and confident in how to do the presentation process. So the thing that I see the biggest difference in, and how can you cut back on your presentation so that you can make it in that time? And again, maybe you're thinking, that's crazy. How do you do that, Dave? Well, part of this is the learning process. Like, I'm an instant, calculator for what the underwriting is. I have a rough idea where prices end up. So I kind of know what to expect when I talk to clients and what they're looking for and then suggest pricing. And carriers, I know who does what fairly well. I know what prescriptions are knockouts for a lot of these carriers. I've developed this sense of understanding, right, because of experience. And so I can move through the underwriting process probably a lot faster than you new agents. That's normal, okay? You got to pay your dues, all right? So that is shortened tremendously. The other aspect of the presentation is I probably do a lot less rapport than the average agent. So what I mean by rapport is I'm not going in like I did on my first sales calls in 2011 for final expense. I'm not going in and talking with Mrs. Jones about the weather for the next 30 minutes before let's mosey on over this here life insurance conversation, okay? You don't need to do that. Rapport building is about getting friendly, not becoming friends. It can be about becoming friends, sure, but in most life insurance niches, the more elaborate, the more complex, the bigger stakes, relationship's going to matter a heck of a lot more, okay? We're talking about more transactional life insurance products here, or really any products. Medicare is the same too. The goal is just to get them to be relaxed with you, to be open-minded to what you're saying, to feeling like, okay, this guy's not out to like rob me or something, right? And the best way to do that, you can do it in a couple of minutes. You can see them visually relax. You can see them open up a little bit, and you see them smile, especially if they laugh. That's a great indicator that that's enough rapport. So you'll find as you start to schedule more and more appointments, maybe you're just doing 5 a day and think that's overwhelming. Well, once you start getting up to 7 and 10 and more, you find that, and you shorten your times between appointments from an hour and a half to an hour 15 to an hour to 45 minutes, you start to get to the point a lot faster. And I believe that gives you the added value of being a busy professional, okay? Think of the physician. The physician doesn't rapport build. He does a little bit, right? But just enough. He goes into diagnosing what your problem is and telling you what the solution is. He doesn't sit there and bloviate. He gets to the point, okay? And that's the power of where you'll be in this type of strategy, is that you'll be able to identify, because you've got the pressure of time especially, to get on to the point, to get to business, to talk about why you're there, to figure out quickly if they're qualified or not, and then to offer them a deal and close them if they're going to buy, or just move on. So there's a lot of psychological power, I think, when you're portrayed, because you are at this point, as a busy professional. Hey guys, are you looking around for a final expense opportunity and all of them seem kind of scammy or wishy-washy? Do you feel like you don't want to go to Kool-Aid drinking rah-rah events or waste your time in endless morning conference calls, and you just want to go out and sell and produce and not have to recruit the whole world who has a pulse? If that's you, then I want you to go to my website to learn more about how my program works to help those of you agents out there, new or experienced, become top producers, not recruiters, producers selling final expense, and how I've helped tons of agents do exactly what you're looking for. I help agents across the country sell final expense. It has been a focal point of my career for many years, and I am dedicated now at this point in my life to those agents out there who believe mastery of final expense is important and want to work with someone who has the street cred and experience selling final expense. So here's how you learn more about how my program works. Go to davidduford.com, click the button at the top that says Join Dave's Agency, and there you'll see all sorts of content that will describe to you how my final expense program works and give you the opportunity to figure out if what I do makes sense for you. So check that out, daviddufour.com. Go to the button that says Join Dave's Agency to learn more. Thanks for watching. See ya.